One game, one legacy on the line. LeBron James was down 3-2 to the Celtics in the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. The pressure? Unreal. And much of it, self-inflicted. After tough playoff exits in Cleveland and a finals collapse in Miami, LeBron was 8 years in, still ringless. Game 6 in Boston wasn't just a must-win, it was a legacy test. Win and fight another day, lose, and be labeled forever as the guy who couldn't deliver when it mattered most.
I played in Boston so many times, the history speaks for itself. But for this one time when I went to Boston for this Game 6, I felt absolutely nothing.
June 7th, 2012. TD Garden. LeBron James steps into a building full of ghosts. 4 years earlier, it was Game 7, Cavs versus Celtics. A young LeBron, battling Boston's Big Three alone, dropped 45 points, but still came up short. The Celtics went on to win the title just weeks later. In the years that followed, LeBron reached the finals, then fell short again in 2009. But 2010 was supposed to be the year. 61 wins, back-to-back MVPs, and a revenge series against Boston. Instead, disaster struck. The underdog Celtics upset the top-seeded Cavs, and LeBron walked off the Boston floor with another crushing loss, possibly his last as a Cavalier. 7 years in. No rings? Critics said he quit, mentally checked out, already eyeing free agency. Whether true or not, that loss hit deeper than anyone realized. It wasn't just a playoff exit, it was the beginning of the end in Cleveland.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
I'm taking my talents to South Beach. With that one sentence, LeBron James shook the NBA to its core. The back-to-back MVP, the hometown hero, left Cleveland to join forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. Just days later, the trio was on stage, parading around promises of greatness. Not one, not two, not three, LeBron said, forecasting a dynasty before winning a single ring. To most, it felt arrogant. To Cleveland, it felt like betrayal. The backlash was instant. Jerseys burned, boos rained down, and the hate toward LeBron hit new heights. But all the noise didn't stop the Heat from thriving. They won 58 games in year one and breezed through the 76ers in round one. Then came round two, familiar foes, the Boston Celtics. Only this time, LeBron wasn't alone. Miami stormed ahead 3-1 in the series, and in the closing moments of Game 5, LeBron stared down the very team that haunted him in Cleveland. He got his revenge.
Wade, James for the lead. James over Pierce. That might be the dagger.
The Celtics are necessarily steal.
One devastating turnover for Boston after another.
LeBron had finally broken through. Game 5 ended with a bang. A thunderous two-handed slam that silenced the Garden and shattered years of frustration. He had finally conquered the Celtics, the very team that had been his. Playoff kryptonite. Miami moved on, crushed Chicago in just 5 games, and punched their ticket to the NBA Finals. The path seemed clear now. The mission felt inevitable. The only thing standing between LeBron and his long-awaited ring? The Dallas Mavericks.
Unlikely playoff run capped off by Dallas upsetting LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and the favored Miami Heat. A stunning ending to one of the more compelling seasons in NBA history.
To LeBron James fell flat in the 2011 NBA Finals. He wasn't himself, hesitant, passive, and unable to close when it mattered most. It was a collapse that gave fuel to every critic who said he wasn't built to win. The pressure of the decision, the media storm, and championship expectations all seemed to crush him. His legacy took a hit, and now the spotlight was hotter than ever. Fast forward to the lockout-shortened season, LeBron came back locked in, winning his 3rd MVP in 4 years. Still, no MVP would silence the doubters. He needed a ring. Miami breezed through round 1 of the playoffs, but round 2 got shaky. Down 2-1 to the Pacers and missing Chris Bosh, it looked like trouble was brewing. Then came Game 4, and LeBron answered the call.
Attacked by James, Hibbert waiting, and one for LeBron. James coming to the basket, and attacking Barbosa. Bang, and a bucket for LeBron.
LeBron showed zero fear in Game 4, dropping a jaw-dropping 40 points, 18 rebounds, and 9 assists plus 2 steals to keep Miami alive and avoid a dangerous 3-1 hole. It was a signature performance, pure dominance. From there, the Heat locked in. They closed out the Pacers in 6 games, punching their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals, this time against a familiar enemy, the Boston Celtics. For the 4th time in his career, LeBron faced Boston in the playoffs, but this time the stakes were even higher. The pressure was enormous, and he rose to the moment. He came out swinging with 32 points and 13 rebounds in Game 1, leading Miami to a 14-point win. Then in Game 2, he dropped 34-10-7 in an overtime battle that gave the Heat a 2-0 series lead. It felt like everything was falling into place. Boston's Big Three looked older, slower, and tired, but just when it seemed like the series was in Miami's control, the Celtics stormed back. They won both games at home to even the series 2-2. Now, with the pressure cranked up in Game 5 back in Miami, LeBron delivered yet another 30-point game. But despite his efforts, the Heat trailed by 1 with just a minute left, and they desperately needed a stop.
Pierce for 3. It's good. Paul Pierce from way downtown. And Boston leads by 4.
With ice in his veins, Paul Pierce sized up LeBron on a switch, rose up and nailed a cold-blooded 3 right in his face. The dagger silenced the Miami crowd and handed Boston a 3-2 series lead, heading back to the Garden. Just a week earlier, Miami looked in full control. A trip to the finals felt like a lock. Now they were staring at the brink of disaster. Another early exit after the meltdown in 2011 would be a crushing blow to LeBron's legacy. He was supposed to be the king, the chosen one. But now everything rested on one game. Game 6 on. The road in Boston. Everything on the line. This wasn't just about winning, it was about rewriting the story of his career. One way or another, this game would define LeBron's legacy forever.
Percent from downtown. James blows past Pearson, throws it down, and the Heat quickly with a 4-point lead.
Game 6, Boston. The air inside TD Garden was thick with tension, history, and anticipation. For LeBron James, this wasn't just another elimination game, it was a confrontation with everything that had ever haunted him. This was the same floor, where dreams had slipped through his fingers, where the Celtics had sent him packing before, where critics had been handed ammunition to question his greatness. And now, with the season on the line and the weight of his legacy pressing down on him, LeBron walked into the building carrying more than just a team. He carried expectation, doubt, and destiny all at once. But he didn't flinch. No visible nerves, no words, just that cold, unreadable expression. A face that told you something big was coming. This wasn't the LeBron of 2010 or 2011. This was a man who had learned, evolved, and absorbed every painful lesson. The world wanted to. No, could he deliver when it mattered most? And in that moment, with every eye locked on him, LeBron James was about to answer with one of the greatest performances the game has ever seen.
Pierce described this series as a good old-fashioned bar fight as James hits it again. Sure, Doc Rivers doesn't want him to hesitate then. James, meanwhile, he is knocking down every dueling at a double-figure game. James tries again and puts it in again. 9 for 10 from the field. Right now, unstoppable. James again. He right now is at a special zone here in the first half.
LeBron set the tone early, an explosive tomahawk slam for his first points. Moments later, he drained a jumper right in Paul Pierce's face, then spun past Ray Allen to sink a tough fadeaway. After missing his first shot, he hit 3 straight, but that was just the warm-up. With 3:18 left in the first, he hit the gas. LeBron flew down the court, weaving through defenders to finish with a jaw-dropping scoop shot and an and one. On the very next possession, he drilled a 3 from the right wing to put Miami up by 10, all while showing zero emotion. But he wasn't done. A few plays later, he took it to the left block, spun, pump-faked, and nailed a leaner around 3. Celtics for his 6th straight field goal. By the end of the first quarter, LeBron nearly outscored the entire Boston team with 14 points on 6 of 7 shooting. Miami led by 10 as they headed into the second, and LeBron wasn't slowing down.